Welcome to the Supplement Shop podcast. We can jump right in. For the people out there, who don't know who you are and what you got going, let us know what your name is, what your businesses are, and kind of what you got going on.
My name is Ethan Itule. I'm based out of Tucson, Arizona. My first business that I ever started was called Frontline Supplements. So that was pretty much, we started off just last year in May of 2024. So that's when I first came out of college, or not came out of college. I stopped playing college football, came back down here to Tucson, and just started the supplement brand. From there, we started with just a release of our protein. After that, we pulled profits from the protein and then launched our pre-workout. Just kept that running, kept running that, kept doing that, promoting a lot, pushing a lot more of those. After that, by the grace of God, we were able to pull enough profits just from my personal and from Frontline. And then from there, we opened up High Caliber Nutrition. And then just on the backside, my family, I head our family's foundation. So that's our way of doing our charity work. But yeah, pretty much the main inspiration for Frontline supplements and High Caliber Nutrition, as you can tell, it's very just military oriented. And that's pretty much, my father was in the Air Force for 23 years. So I've lived in Japan, I've lived in Spain. I've traveled, been in airports and countries all over the world. And that's just pretty much inspired by him. So when we were in Japan, we were on Yakakota Air Force Base for about 4 years. And then from there, he retired, and then he got a private job in Spain. So he was in Moron, so that's in the northern province. And from there, I was just always fascinated with just the technology. So Frontline, that's pretty much where all the aircraft come in, they fuel up, they arm up, they do maintenance, all that. And that's where they just kind of do their own thing. And I was just always, fascinated with the aircraft themselves. So just thinking through the technology over the decades. My father was in Desert Storm, so he was always telling me stories about, of course, the A-10s, the F-16s, even during that time, if I studied correctly, we didn't even know the F-22 was a thing, but, Lockheed Martin was working on it at the time. So it's just, I was always fascinated with the aircraft themselves, from fighters all the way to helis, all the way to cargo planes. And then from there, my youngest brother, he's going through the PJ pipeline right now in the Air Force. So he just got in there. He's going to go through his basic, and then from there, he's going to hop into pararescue. So just everything is very military-esque. My mom worked for the CFC, so that's very Navy-oriented while we were in Yakota. So everything we've ever kind of done has been related or oriented around type of military, supporting military people as well. And even now, my father's the chief of operations right here on Davis Monthan Air Force Base.
That's awesome, man. So it sounds like all your branding and everything stemmed from childhood?
Pretty much, yeah, absolutely. So when we were on Japan, that was between, I would say, 2009 and 2013. So we were always getting aircraft in. Granted, we were on an Air Force base, but we would always go to naval bases just to hang out, check them out. But we were always getting aircraft in. Even after we were there when the 2011 tsunami hit in Japan. So even then, when my father had to go over to Fukushima, I believe it was, and handle that whole nuclear meltdown thing, we were constantly just, they evacuated all non-essential personnel. So when they evacuated us on a KC-135. So
that's crazy.
On a KC-135, those are the refuelers. So we were refueling jets at least 4 or 5 times in one flight. So I've just always been on some type of, yeah.
For sure, man. That's awesome. So how's living in Japan? What's the biggest, did you like that as a kid?
So I was there. I wish, I could go back and redo everything I did, but like when I was older, because when I was there, I did kindergarten through 3rd grade. So of course I still remember it, but looking back, I could have, if I was the age I was now, living in Japan now, there was so much stuff it's just, Japan in and of itself is just a crazy, just awesome society. The biggest thing that I remember about Japan is they have all 4 seasons. That's a given. They have a summer, they have their fall, they have their winter, and they have their spring. Like the seasons are coming. Here in Arizona, we pretty much have hot and hotter. That's pretty much all it is here in Arizona. Whereas Japan, they had their snow, they had their typhoons, they just had their seasons. That was awesome. And then the biggest thing was their cleanliness, and in everything you never saw on the sidewalks, you never saw somebody just throwing trash on the streets. Just, it was always super clean. Just everything they did, the food, everyone was just very trustworthy. Like, there was, the biggest thing I remember too is like one time we parked we went off base to eat all the time, and this couple, they I guess they were getting out of their car and their door accidentally like hit ours. And I guess this happened when we just walked in. So they sat in the parking lot for an hour and waited for us to come out and to try to do like insurance stuff. And my dad was like, no, it's a scuff. Like, don't worry about it. You know, I'm not going to do all this. And like, but they're just super honest people. Like, Japan is just awesome. Especially when you go to Tokyo and their nightlife, what you see on the movies with the neon lights and the people, it's just like that. It's exactly like that.
So completely opposite of the United States.
Pretty much, yeah. Like their food is outstanding. Their sushi. Once you have Japanese sushi and you come back here and you go to like a Walgreens or a Safeway, there's no going back to what Japan had.
Well, cool, man. So so you had, traveling all the world. You were with the a lot of military experience. How did you? I saw you after college. You started the supplement brand. What got you into the fitness space to begin with? Like, take us way back to the starting roots of the fitness space.
The starting roots? Oh man. So I'm 21 years old. So I'm still in college. I'm just
okay. So you're youngin'.
Yeah, I'm 21. My 22nd birthday is next month, but I mean, I can't. I'm near the University of Arizona, but I mean, I'm running almost 4 businesses now. So I just do my classes online through University of Phoenix. So let's see. Take it all the way back. I graduated from high school in 2022. So I know that was only 3 years. So, yeah.
So you started the supplement brand at what age?
Last year, so 20.
Okay.
But let's see. When I first got into fitness, so went through high school down here at Walden Grove High School. Went through all that, kind of grew out of my shyness a little bit into junior year, senior year. Was pretty much where I started to just, I guess, find myself, quote unquote. So was very just outgoing. I was student body president. I was unofficially NHS president, but they didn't give it to me because they didn't want a student being a president of both organizations. So that was that. And then my brother was my teacher, soccer coach, and he was also my student council advisor. So me and him bounced off of each other a lot. We created a lot of things, but the biggest turning point was right after high school. So right after high school, a month right after. So I had my high school sweetheart. We dated all throughout high school, but then right after high school, she broke up with me. So that was kind of when I decided, like, you know, it's time. Like, I need to grow up. You know what I mean? I just kind of did some self-reflecting, realized, like, you know, like, I got to grow up. I'm 18 now. I got to be a man. I'm going to college. I got to start creating my life for myself. And that's pretty much when I found out to myself, like, I need to change. Like, there's a lot of maturing that I need to do. So I started maturing myself spiritually, just started fixing my relationship with God. Number 2, emotionally, started understanding like what, disciplining myself more, like what's right, what's wrong, helping people more in need, not putting myself first. And then 3, just physically. I believe that if you can discipline your body physically first, then everything else will follow suit. Because I mean, even biblically, it's factual. It's in the Bible too. If you can
100%.
If you can master the flesh, you know, that's what it is. So I just started lifting. I mean, of course, I didn't know what I was doing at first, but it's one of those things you just got to stay in it. And I just started lifting and started working out. Then after that, I went to college. I went to Ottawa University for about a year to be a kicker up there. I was a kicker up there, did kicking, and then I met a buddy of mine. He was a D1 bounce back from Washington State, and he was a punter. And all dude was 6'5", 230, washboard. Like, dude was huge, and he was a punter. And he just always lifted. And he took me under his wing. He would take me lifting right after we'd have practice, then team dinners, and then we'd go lifting 9 o'clock at night. Wake up, he'd tell me, "Hey, we're going back to the gym." So we'd lift twice a day, and then we'd go do our football lesson. He just took me under his wing. And yeah, his name was Tristan Brown. I haven't heard from him in a while, but he was definitely a big person in my life. He was pretty much that guy who showed me, while I was off in college, I was away from my older brother. He's a big inspiration for me. And so was my dad, you know, like how to become a man. But when I was away in college, it was just me. I was 3-4 hours away. So he took me under his wing. He showed me what's right, what's wrong, how to just he had his own business. He was showing me like the introduction of that, and he just showed me how to lift, how to work out, how to be disciplined. And he was pretty much everything you would want in a mentor at 18 or 19 years old. When he needed to be a friend, he was a friend. When he needed to be the disciplinarian, like, hey, stop being stupid, he was that guy. But when he needed to be maybe even an older brother, he fit every realm. And that's absolutely what he kind of did. And then when I was up there, I got injured, something with my back, never could figure it out. But come to find out afterwards, it had something to do with like my glutes, because I was a kicker and I tore one of my like glute muscles, and I just did not want to do the surgery. I just thought it was too close to my back. And at the time, I was also on track to be a youth pastor up there. So my buddy who took me under his wing spiritually, his name was Matthew. And he was the youth pastor at the time. And then he was on track to be the head pastor. After that, he said, hey, I'm going to be the new head pastor. I want you to be the new youth pastor. And July of 2023, I had two choices. Do I follow my dreams of being an entrepreneur and starting Flightline, the supplement brand, or do I stay here in Surprise, Arizona and become a youth pastor? And after about a month of just fasting, praying, I decided, you know what, I'm going to head back down to Tucson, follow my passions, start my dreams, and created Flightline supplements. So that got incorporated end of 23, got protein in by April of 24, and then launched May of 24. And then from there, rest is history.
For sure, man. That's awesome. That's a good story.
Yeah.
That's a good story. Okay, so from when you launched the supplement line, how long from then until opening the store?
Probably about a year and 2 months ish. Yeah. So we launched the first supplement with Flightline supplements, the protein powder, in I think it was May 23rd of 2024. Then from there, we just kept buying new stock. After our first time we bought it was MLQ. After that, we bought 100 more units. After that, we were able to buy 200 more units. Still haven't taken a salary from Flightline supplements. It's just getting the cost of each unit down as much as possible before I take a salary from that. And then thankfully we had enough just revenue where I could say, I hit up a distributor, said, hey, I want a pre-workout. And within 4 weeks, we formulated it, we got it tested, and we launched it. We launched that one October of 24. And then we've just been pushing that one super hard. That one's, sales, I would say for the pre-workout, we're probably pushing around 8,000 units now, but we launched in October. And now with the opening of high caliber nutrition, that's probably going to even double or quadruple now, because now we have potential people wanting to franchise out high caliber nutrition. And this is only our second day open. Like, we haven't even had a grand opening yet. That's tomorrow. So it's like people see the vision, they see the beliefs that we have, the morals, and they're just all about it.
For sure, man. Yeah. Okay. So I'm guessing that was all online, correct?
Flightline?
Direct to consumer?
Sorry?
And that was direct to consumer? Like, were you in any retail stores, or were you all?
Yeah. Okay. Oh no, we did online, and then we're in a lot of the Max Muscle chains right now in California. So Modesto and Sacramento are some of our biggest retailers right now. Those locations, they're awesome. They buy product all the time. They get huge sales from it, and they just love it. They absolutely love Flightline. They're pretty much buying at least 24 to 36 bottles every 2 weeks from us. And then we're in another store. It's called Flex Supplements. That's in Texas. And then right now we're just trying to push more stores. We just got into a big guy. They're a wholesale guy for Frontline formulations. He has his own nutrition shop, Caleb Hageman, and he brought us into his store to try it out. And that was pretty much a big step. It was like, Caleb is known. He's huge. His opinion is very respected. And the fact that he brought me into his store was very now I kind of know I'm doing something right, because Caleb, he's very known and he's respected in the supplement industry. So now that we got into his store, now we're just kind of building up more and more wholesale. But that's pretty much what I just looked up to Caleb Hageman a lot, just how he does his wholesale thing. He does direct to consumer, or he does wholesale a lot. And even he's just very storefront oriented. And that's where he told me to shift my focus to that. Yeah, you can sell direct to consumer online, but then you're competing with the stores and they don't want to compete with you. So I just focused all my energy on, hey, how can I make each store benefit? You know, we're here for you. Flightline's here for you. Even a couple of the stores themselves are veterans themselves. So we say, hey, you know, like we, on top of giving you the wholesale price, we're giving you another one because you're a veteran. That's our whole foundation of why I created this brand. So that's just the biggest one right there. We're trying to expand in more stores, but just been focusing more on high calorie nutrition right now.
I'm sure, man. Yeah. And Caleb's great. He knows what he's doing. That's for sure.
He knows, yeah. Caleb's awesome.
Yes. Okay. So your main, I guess, the marketing strategy of getting the products out there has been going into retail stores.
Absolutely.
Okay. And that's big because like not many brands out there do that anymore. They're trying to go online, D2C. You know, back in the day, it was all retail oriented where, you know, they cared about the stores, but now it's kind of shifting. So it's a good strategy of going towards that. So take it back, right? So we get a lot of young listeners. So when you first started this brand and you said, okay, I want to go into multiple retail locations, what was the strategy? What was the goal of getting into those, you know, the first couple stores?
You just got to sit down, have your Mac or have your laptop, have your phone, and you got to call. They don't know you. And you just have to have a product that stands out to them. It's not like, oh, let me hire somebody to do this. It's like I had to do it all myself. I don't have any employees on Flightline. So all the retails, I had to just pick up the phone and call them. That's what you got to do. Emails, they can blow off the emails. Absolutely. Best bet, if you're able to, I know Caleb goes directly to their face. I wish I could do that. Just go straight to the store. But with the circumstances, I just call. I say, hey, this is who we are. I would love to just send you a bottle. I don't send sample packs. I send the full bottle. It's an investment. You know, it's like at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, they can take sample packs, 1 to 2, 3 people, whatever. But if you send a full bottle, in my experience, I've noticed that like, oh, wow, you sent a full bottle. Like, oh, wow, they can see the whole thing. It's not just they see the sample pack and they see the little labels. Like, no, they get the full bottle, full label, full 30 servings. And yeah, of course, I mean, I take the cost of that. But at the end of the day, if I send them a bottle, and then they really like it, and then every 2 weeks they buy 24 bottles. You know what I mean? That's exactly what we had to do with Sacramento or with Modesto, what we had to do with all of those Max Muscle chains and flex supplements. We just said, hey, you know, we're going to send you a full bottle. Just try us out. And, you know, now they're buying bottles every 2-3 weeks from us. And it's just one of those investments you have to do. You have to take that risk. Yeah,
and it costs you, you know, $20, $25 to get that customer, and they can see it on the store. They can see it, you know, how it looks on their shelf.
Exactly,
that's huge. Okay, so what's the goal of? Talk us through the vision of, you know, the retail store. Why did you go from, you know, your own supplement brand now going into the retail space? Was there a shift that you had, or have you always wanted to do this?
I've always wanted to have my own retail spot, but this was actually planned for further down the road. So this was planned for maybe 26, end of 26, beginning 27. But there was just a lot of things that fell into place at the right circumstances, and then a couple of unforeseen circumstances. So the biggest one is I was going to open up my first location in Sahuarita, Arizona. So that's the closest supplement shop would be in Tucson, but that's about 30 minutes away. And in Saudi, there's nothing. It's a new town, but it's a booming town. All of the people that work at Raytheon go out of there. The people out of Davis Mountain go there. Border Patrol. Like, there's a lot of, you know, first responders that live in Sahuarita, or even military people that live in Sahuarita. But I mean, if they want something when it comes to nutrition, there isn't anything like that. There's 5 gyms in Sahuarita, but there's nothing there for like health stuff. So I was going to do my first shop there. I was talking to an investor. We got to the point where he said, I'm going to send you a contract tomorrow to sign, but he never sent it over. So, you know, I just took that on the chin, prayed about it, and I was just ranting to a friend of mine. And he said, hey, you know, he's actually my partner now with High Calorie Nutrition. He's an executive chef. He's like, I used to have my own meal prep company. I had to shut it down just because he has kids now, stuff like that. But he said, I've always wanted to get back into it. Let's partner up. So we came down to Nogales. Down here, it's a bit cheaper to do a business, but down here, just, I don't know, the cost of everything is a little bit cheaper, and the just demographic down here is very similar to Sahuarita. There's 5 gyms down here. There's every type of fitness thing. There's a Planet. There's 2 private gyms. There's CrossFit. There's powerlifting. There's cycling. There's everything for fitness down here, but there isn't anything when it comes to nutrition. Yeah. And there's a GNC down here, but I mean, they don't do protein shakes. They don't do meal preps like we do. And then on top of that, if they wanted something like that, it would go up to Tucson, but now they're 45 to an hour away. So came down here to just check it out. And at first I was just like, I do have some money, but I mean, I'm budgeted on what I can do. That's why I needed an investor. And right as I was talking about it with my partner, Roman, we were talking about it. I used to work at a nutrition shop, very similar, right? And when I worked there, I was working there when I launched Flightline supplements. And my boss at the time, I told him, I was like, hey, I'm new. I would love to if you would just try me out. You know me personally, you're my boss, try me out. And he just kept stringing me along, you know what I mean? Just like, oh, we'll try it out later. And then once we came out.
Even though you worked for him in the store?
I worked for him and he just wouldn't bring me on. It's just something about insurance. And I believed it, but then I got the insurance that like they wanted, but he just there was something that he wasn't telling me, right? And then after that, we came out with the pre-workout. I was like, hey, now we have pre-workout. I've given it to like my coworkers. They absolutely love it. And even my coworkers are like, yeah, this is like, he knows what he's doing. This is a good pre-workout. Like a buddy of mine, he takes a lot of Condemn Labs and After Dark. And he was like, this has got to be up there. And I mean, absolutely. I mean, I inspired our Fully Armed off of After Dark supplements. I love After Dark. That was the first iStim pre-workout I ever took. And I absolutely love After Dark. I DM them all the time. Even when I started High Calorie Nutrition, that was the first pre-workout I brought in. Them and Condemn Labs were the first ones I brought in with mine. And they were like, he was like, yeah, this is up there with Condemn Labs. This is up there with Insane Labs. This is something you need to bring in. And he was just like, oh, I'll talk to the CEO. Because he's a franchise owner of the stores. So I won't mention the company name, but he was a franchisee of that big nutrition shop. And then I stopped working there because I would work at a coffee shop now. The 1989 Bakehouse. It's a small business down here in Tucson. And I told him, I was like, hey, now we have pre-workout. And then one day he called me, the boss. Now I haven't been working for him for months now when he called me. And I just kept trying to push him like, hey, try us out. You have 3 stores, try us out. And one day he just called me and he was like, you know what? I'm not going to carry you because you're too small of a company. And that was pretty much like a kick in the chest because that was pretty much the first person who was like, no, because you're too small, or like, no, because nobody knows you. And then that one fueled with, hey, I have a potential spot for a nutrition shop. I was like, you know what? I'm pushing all my chips in. Everything I have in savings, everything I have from Flightline, I'm putting into high calorie nutrition. I mean, at the end of the day, I sat down and I said, you know what? What do I have to lose and what do I have to gain? Right? I'm 21 years old. I put in my life savings into high calorie nutrition. I put in I have $50,000 saved up. I could have went and bought a house, put that in real estate or whatever. But he said, you know what? I'm 21 years old, no wife, no kids. If I lost it all, I'm 21. But if it worked out how I envisioned it, sky's the limit. So I said, you know what?
That's perfect time.
It's the perfect time. No wife, no kids. And let's say I lost it all. I'm 21. I would recuperate it by the time I'm 25. And even then, I'm 25 years old. I'm still in my 20s. So now's the time to risk and just see what happens. Of course, I didn't do it like just half-cocked, but I just, I studied, did my thing. And from there, just pushed all the chips in. And now we're open.
That's awesome, man. So grand opening's coming up, right? In the next few days?
It's tomorrow.
Oh, hell. How you feeling?
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, down here, we've been promoting. So I first came down here to Nogales because in May, I met a girl. She lives in Nogales. So I've been I've been coming down here to hang out with my girlfriend. And then that was kind of around the time when I met my partner, Roman. Then we checked out a spot in Nogales. And then I went to the gyms down here. And just the people down here are awesome. People my age, they really like it. I told them, I was like, hey, I'm opening up a nutrition shop. They absolutely freaked out about it. This was in June. They're like, dude, this is something we need. We have a GNC here, but it's like, they can only carry certain things. Like we want good stuff. And if you're doing protein shakes and meal preps, this is something that's going to blow up. We spent June and July renovating. We're supposed to open August, but we had some plumbing issues. So then we had to open up September. So technically we've had a soft opening since Wednesday. So we've only been open 3 days. Okay. And then tomorrow's our grand opening. But I mean, on Instagram, we're probably pushing around 500,000 views, close to 800 followers. Like people are really receptive of it, and just even the community down here. And we're right next to the border, so people come from across the border to get our stuff. And yeah, they absolutely love it.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, keep pushing for sure. For sure. Well, cool. You get a lot of gyms there. Do you have like a game plan of anything do different? Like I know samples are huge. Like a lot of sell $2 a scoop. When you're sampling stuff. For sure. That's awesome. So I guess, I saw on there where you put 1 and then 2 coming soon. Did you mean like 1 as in the Flightline subs, or are you talking about 2 locations?
So we're starting our 2nd and 3rd location already.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So my buddy of mine, he's deployed in Bahrain right now. So he's deployed in Bahrain, but again, he's 21 years old. He's just in Bahrain working out, collecting a paycheck. So once he comes back, he has all of his VA benefits, and he's like, I want to franchise you out. And he's like, I absolutely want my own store. I like your vision. I want my own store. And I was like, absolutely. So we'll be signing a lease within the upcoming months for the Saudita location. And then after that, probably become next year, we're going to open up another Tucson location. And then there's even talks of a girl in Alabama that want to franchise us. So we're definitely moving pretty quickly, but we're keeping it like by pace. We're making sure we do everything right. But yeah, we're definitely going to be having 2 or 3 locations by the end of 27 or by 26.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. You better get your systems and processes down.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're doing, everything now.
For sure. That's awesome. Okay. Well, cool, man. I appreciate you coming on. What's your where can people find you at? What's the social medias? What's the website? Things like that.
Absolutely. So Flightline Supplements, that'll just be flightlinesupplements.com. You can find us on Instagram at @flightline_subs. High Caliber Nutrition online would be highcalibernutrition.net, and then on Instagram it's High Caliber Nutrition. If you'd like to check out my family's foundation, that's itulefoundation.com or .org. And then if you'd like to just check out my personal, it's Ethan Itule.
Perfect. All right, and then one last question before we leave. You're 21 now. You've done all these different things. You're getting into bigger business now. If you could tell yourself one thing back, right out of college, right before you launched the brand, what's that one thing that you would tell yourself?
Be a little bit more disciplined. It takes discipline to get to where, I would say I would be at now, but I can't not give myself some crap even nowadays. Like, what if I was just a little bit more disciplined now then? What if I, stayed an extra hour calling? What if, maybe I did go work out that day, or, maybe what if I did do whatever, because even after I had that breakup after high school, I had an even worse one right before I launched Flightline Supplements, just right before that. So I would say just be more disciplined, like never let yourself have that what if factor. Like, what if I could have done this? What if I did that? Just do it. And if it doesn't work out, and you're a young man, and if it doesn't work out, it didn't work out, it didn't work out. Try again, find a way to do it. But, have that discipline, have that just sense of pride to just be like, you know what, I'm going to go try it. If it fails, it fails. But if it doesn't fail, then there's something here for me. And just be more disciplined in your workouts. Be disciplined. Don't just be like a meat muscle. Be an athlete. Work out with strength and run and do everything. Like, at the end of the day, you want to be. You're 20. I haven't even hit max age for testosterone production. Like if you're 21 and you're young, just go as hard as you can. This is a time now to struggle. This is a time now to just do your time. Like every great man before us or before me, they did their time. They did their struggle. They've probably had businesses that started and failed, but they did their time. It's just now it's my time to do my time. It's my turn to struggle. It's my time to be broke. It's my time to push in all the chips. But if I don't do that now, am I going to have to do it when I'm 30 with kids and a wife, or am I going to have to do that when I'm 40? Like, if I risk it, if I do all my chips now and I push, if I push the pedal to the metal, I do it now and it works out how I envision, I did it now when I'm 20. But
for sure, most people go their whole lives without risking it, without, they get towards the end and they regret,
Exactly.
That's awesome.
And I don't know what other way to put it, but just, believe in yourself. If you have a vision, believe in it. Just you see the vision, remind yourself of it every day. And I don't know, like the only thing I can do just say is like, push all your chips and put it all in black, put it all in yourself, and just see where your purpose takes you.
For sure. Well, cool, man. That's a wrap for today on the Supplement Shop podcast. If you got value from this, please share it with a friend. And with that said, keep building your business better, and I'll see you on the next one.